Common and P Rock.
Common and P Rock dropped. It's called the Auditorium, no?
Yeah, I believe so.
Feel like a Larry Squint this one. You know what I'm saying? Larry Squint. Yes, the Auditorium, Volume 1. Oh, I'm already here. I might as well pull up some other stats. Common and Pete Rock dropped the Auditorium Volume 1. Oh, look, I don't need to squint. On July 12th, a couple weeks ago. It is a 15-song album that they dropped, an hour and 2 minutes. And so we decided to give it a listen, come up here and give it a quick review. And so here we are.
I want to say something.
Say something.
In the past, I have slandered short albums. I am finding it harder and harder to listen to longer albums.
Yep.
It's not that I don't want the music. It's not that I don't want. Part of it is this podcast, meaning that we listen to music sometimes in order to be able to review it here.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a problem with that, just to be clear. But I think what happens is I kind of like put myself, like, I, I listen to it in one sitting just because I'm like, let me listen to it in one sitting since I have to like think about it um, or multiple sittings. And I just, I never thought that listening to an album for an hour would be a stressor for me. And I just find myself checking to see how many songs are left sometimes.
I understand.
And I want to be clear that I don't think that's an indication of whether an album is good or not. I'm sure that there are times when I don't do that, that maybe it is an indication that an album is really good or I really like something. But I don't think that's I don't want to go with that because I don't think that's what it is. I just think I'm a little just like, oh, wow, I've got to do 10 other things and I haven't gotten to the end of this yet. so, so I say that to say this felt very long for me.
Because it feels long.
Yeah, it felt very long. I mean, an hour felt very long. Now, as far as the quality goes, I thought it was a good quality album. I thought it was cool. I don't know. I don't know Common's catalog that well. I know like the things that everybody knows.
Okay.
Like him and Erica Badu could make a song for me any day. Love it.
Okay.
Um, you know, yeah. I feel like all of the singles and the things that the common songs I'm very familiar with. I'm very familiar with and I've always liked. But I've never really took a deep dive into his catalog. So I want to be clear about that when I give my review because maybe it would, change the way I see it. But I thought it was good. I thought it had good sound. I thought he sounded great. I thought they both did a great job. I There is a song that I didn't care for. And normally I feel like I feel like y'all probably expect me to like this one. But
Uh-oh.
the song I didn't care for was the song with Jennifer Hudson.
No, I thought that's not going to be the answer. I thought you were going to say something else. Why you didn't like that song?
Something about it was weird. Like something about the sound of it just wasn't.
Hold on, let me see. Is this the same one I don't like before I start talking shit? Hold on.
into it. I know
Oh
it's
yeah.
like supposed to be like gospel type of music. Maybe I need to be
No,
saved
that's not the one I don't.
to it. Maybe I need to be saved to listen to it, and I'm not. I don't know. Um, I'm still out there,
Maybe you need to be
fornicating,
saved.
being a heathen. Um,
Wow, that was crazy.
but I didn't. I know, they were probably having a love fest during that time, you know, with their relationship and whatnot. And I really wanted to like it because she was there, and I was like, oh, this is cute. This is cute putting her on your album. I mean, if I could sing, and I had like a man who was a rapper, I would be like, oh yeah, of course I'll get on your track, baby. You know, that's cute. That's cute on some girly shit. But on some music shit, I was just like, it felt flat for me. And I really wanted to like it when I saw her name. But I didn't. And again, maybe I need to be saved. Maybe I need to be closest to the Lord for it to be for it to resonate with me
Hmm.
the way that I think it was supposed to resonate with people. And I hope that people find peace and find positivity in it because I think it's a really positive song.
Peace and positivity.
I hate when I don't like things like that because it's kind of like the Will Smith song. Like, he ain't do nothing wrong. He was trying to be positive. He was trying to be uplifting. And I just was like, I don't think I want to be uplifted by these people.
Okay, what did you like about the album? So far, we got It's Too Long.
I hate when you do this. I hate when I give the review and I say what the good things are, and then you come back and ask me again because then
What did you say that was good?
I said I thought it had a great sound. Said I thought both of
Oh,
them
you did say, all
sounded
right, you're right, you're right, you're
like
right. I apologize. I apologize. You said they both did a good job. You're right. I'm sorry.
that is not all I said. What's wrong with you?
What you said?
Let's move on. What did you think of it?
No, 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 no. If I misspeak, then
No.
correct me. What else did you say that was good? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not trying to set you up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Go back and watch it when you get a chance. Come on, let's go. What did you think of it?
All right.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was a really balanced album. You got a lot of talk shit records, but you also have a lot of records with a message. And I thought this was a good job of blending the two together, of
Hmm.
where I'm going to speak about the things I think should be changed. I'm going to speak about my religious views and my relationship with the Lord and our struggles as a people and as a
You got
community,
to talk about the struggles as a people.
but also, hey, I'm that nigga, and don't y'all forget it. I thought this was a good balance of the two. Um, and I think Pete Rock did a good job with production. It was nice to hear Pete Rock come up there and spit a little something, something here and there.
Yeah.
And so I thought all of that was good. I think the two work very well together. I think it worked well in the sequencing. It didn't seem like anything didn't belong where it was. Things led really nicely into the next track a lot of times. Even the single, which is like in the middle of the album, if I'm correct, it ended with something that's like, oh, you guys gotta wake up, and you guys gotta wake up, and you gotta wake up. And then it leads right into the single, which is about uplifting the people and waking up and blah, blah, blah. And I thought that was really, really smart, really smooth transition. Um, I thought it was good. I only have two critiques.
Okay, wait.
Uh,
Say one thing before you tell me your critiques.
sure.
I like Dreamin'.
The first track. Yep. That's good.
Dreaming and I'm thinking of you. I know it's something I've heard before. I think that's why it just felt really familiar to me.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, you talk about the technicalities and I talk about the feelings, and I like the way that always makes me feel, and I feel like Common, came in and did what he needed to do to keep me feeling that way.
That's good. That's a great thing. Actually, that's a good point. There were some very familiar samples, including some from Kanye, which I didn't expect. Um,
He
in the
always brings
Chicago,
up somewhere.
well, the song was about Chicago, so that made sense. If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, that's a song where that sample is. Um, and I'm never mad at Common repping Chicago, which he does often. That's where he's from, so I'm not mad at that. If I was from Gotham City, I'll be rapping about
Gotham
it.
City. Oh,
Why? Oh, what's wrong with that?
we can't sing that.
Can't sing Gotham City.
No,
You didn't just make that up. Is that from
no, that's a real song.
Gotham City? I'm not familiar. But based on your face, I'm guessing it's the Pied Piper of nastiness. All right, well then don't sing it. But if I was from Gotham City, I would, I would rep that. You want me to edit that out?
I think that was on the Batman soundtrack. You don't have to edit it out, but it was an honest accident.
Hmm. Okay. Anywho, if I was from Gotham City, I'd be repping it too. That was my point. Um, so I think it was a smart use of familiar sounds as well. I think that was a good point that you hit right there. I was gonna say I only have two critiques. Number one, listen, I feel you. Uplift the people, speak about the struggles, and also talk your shit, but not for an hour.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
No, that's my first critique. This was too long.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at Common doing 15 songs, but these were 15 full length songs. And I know the outro, not really, fine, whatever. But my point is, these are full songs. Common is not giving us 90-second songs. And I, as an MC and a hip hop head, truly appreciate that. But we don't need an hour of that because it was pretty much the same two or three topics the entire project. And I'm not mad at that. But when you're rapping in basically the same flow every song, it becomes challenging to hear that flow for 15 songs. And I struggle with that as a fan of music. Also,
Mhm.
because I'm an artist who understands we shouldn't be doing the same shit all the time. I always say up here, I think the best artists are balanced. And I think that is kind of the problem with this project, where Common has what I like to call a default flow, a signature flow. And that's good. I'm okay with that. But we need more uh switch ups if that's the case.
I see
Um
that. Yeah.
Listen, it's not a common specific complaint. There are other artists who I struggle with listening to, and I've said that up here before for the same reason. Rick Ross is one of them. Wale is another one. Meek Mill is another one. Jadakiss, who I fucking love, is another one. It's not the problem that they can't use other flows. They can, but a lot of times they stick to their default flow because it works, and that's good. But I personally struggle listening to that default flow for an entire album. And I was surprised, honestly, that Common didn't switch it up more because I know Common is capable of doing so. Uh, and so I thought that he would show that. His lyrical ability is through the roof. That's never been a question. I'm not saying anything is wrong. I'm only speaking about my personal challenge with hearing something repetitiously for an hour. It's a long time. Probably
Yeah.
could have cut this in half, especially when you're letting us know this is volume one. I'm
Yeah.
glad y'all got together and recorded a lot of songs, but that
Mm-hmm.
is my second problem. This is volume one, and I don't know if I want to hear volume two because I need different shit on volume two then because volume one was good. It was probably what we should call contemporary hip hop, right? This was a very specific type of hip hop. These two gentlemen excelled at creating it. It is top tier contemporary hip hop, if such a genre exists. It is right on the money for what you want, but I don't need it for an hour then. And if you're going to give me multiple volumes, perhaps cut them shorter. My second complaint is I have listened to Common albums before. And I know Common straight up recycled some lines on this song, on this album. And that surprised me. As great as a wordsmith as Common is, I was disappointed hearing some lines that are very specifically recycled from other projects, especially because sometimes you give a nod to one of your old projects or reference something from before. That's not what it was. This was the same exact line you heard before. I don't know if he was freestyling some of these lines and it just came out because it was familiar. I don't know the answer, but that surprised me in a bad way. I have to give a little bit of critique on that only because I know that Common is super talented and a great wordsmith. And so I hold him at a high regard, and that I was disappointed in.
Let me ask you this though:
So
Do you think the album was anti-black?
no. How would it be anti-black? It was very black.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm about to say, what the hell?
I'm kidding. We'll probably talk about this another day, but Malcolm Jamal Warner is concerned that hip hop is anti-black, so I just figured I'd ask.
We'll get to it another day, but he said the hip hop that gets the most attention.
I know, I know what he said. I just thought it was funny. Um, I just thought it was funny, and really, what he was trying to do was promote poetry. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Perhaps another time. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, listen, I your critiques are valid. Yeah, I think things can get redundant. It's like I could listen to a lot of Rick Ross, but I can also take breaks from it, and I'd be fine because it's not like you said. It's kind of the same. It's usually the same cadence. It's usually the same type of beat. It's usually the same type of artist, if not the same artists that are featured.
Right.
Um, he follows a blueprint, and I have also said that I think that certain artists they niche themselves, and sometimes I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay. What I don't know if I want Rick Ross to do anything else. I'd have to hear what that sounds like. I think at this point I'm like, what he does is fine. But I do understand when you are familiar with an artist being able to do more and exercise their skills in a lot of different ways, then yeah. I mean, and there's so many that are capable of that you know. So I totally understand wanting that from Common because Common is absolutely capable of that. Um, and Common is great at what he does. So why would
And again,
the
it's
expectation
it's
be?
just my personal thing. It doesn't mean Common sucks, the album sucks, not at
Yeah,
all. I'm only speaking about my personal struggle as a listener.
yeah, I understand that, but we on a podcast and we're talking about it, so I figure let's talk about it.
Indeed.
Is it over? Okay.
No,
I
it's
know
still
they,
going. It's just lower.
I know they probably won't hear that, and I'll just
I'll
look
leave
like
it.
a fool
I'll
dancing.
leave it. No, I'll leave it so you don't look crazy.
um, yeah. So I mean, listen, I I am grateful for Common and Pete Rock because you know at least I didn't have to listen to.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, listen, again, I enjoyed the album. I just think sometimes, especially when you're letting us know this is volume one, maybe take it easy. Maybe 9 songs. You know what I mean? 10, 11.
I think 12 would have been great.
Listen, just saying.
I think 12 would have been great. We could have shaved like 15 minutes off of it.
Because also what happens is when you do something that pushes people to their limit and they know this is volume one, it makes you less eager to hear volume two, three, four,
Yeah.
five, six, seven, and eight. Now, if you give somebody something who, even in the middle, it's like, oh, okay, this was cool. I feel like they could have added more or maybe taken some off. Then you're more open to what comes next, and I feel like you do yourself a disservice, especially in this era. Like it's not '88, right? Like those type of albums were coming out before, but I think also it has to do with the topics. Like when you have this kind of album, it's hard to hear those topics over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because I know you're the man. I got it. I got it. You're the man.
Hmm.
And I got it. Power to the people. Absolutely. But what else?
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Well, I
So I
mean,
think it would behoove them to make volume two a little shorter.
a little shorter, and hopefully, volume two is maybe a different spin on what they did in volume one. Or it could be more of the same, but hopefully it's, there's a switch up there,
We'll see.
Because I feel like when you are doing multiple volumes, you can take creative license. You can do one way and do another one a slightly different way, you know? Um,
I agree.
so, yeah.